John Nelson Darby tried to reinvent Christianity in the mid 1800s, and the global church flat out rejected it. Darby on his own had decided that over 18 centuries of church doctrine was wrong. And outside of his extremely small circle, nobody was buying it until it crossed the Atlantic into an environment that was ripe for deception. Due to the still relatively fresh separation from the Church of England, American Christianity was very structurally vulnerable, and people were leaning more heavily on reading their own Bibles, which, to be clear, is a great way to build your faith. Everyone should read their Bible for themselves. But an editor named Cyrus Scofield, who wasn't a biblical scholar or formally trained theologian, he took advantage of that vulnerability and changed the format of the Bible Americans were reading. He embedded Darby's ideas as footnotes into scripture in the Scofield Reference Bible, and he presented them as if they were fact. And that is how a failed theory became biblical truth in America. And today, it's estimated that as few as 5% of worldwide Christians actually hold a dispensational view of the Bible. And yet, somehow, US politicians have hijacked the theology to deceive American Christians into believing that they have some biblical responsibility to blindly support certain foreign policy agendas. So, a theology unknown for 1,800 years and rejected by 95% of Christians has remained relevant today almost solely for the use of promoting political allegiance. And I know that most believers of dispensationalism are, deeply devoted to Christ and the church. And I'm not saying that dispensationalists aren't saved believers, because I believe that the overwhelming majority of them are. But that doesn't mean that they haven't been severely misled. Listen, stick around, because in the next video, I'm going to expose some of the dangers of promoting dispensationalism.